Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I'm so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Now, today's practice will be a quick yoga flow to help reduce stress and anxiety and to help us be more present in this moment. Now, if that sounds good to you, go ahead and roll out your mat and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Stay firm. Sending that right foot back. Now we'll begin by bringing ourselves into our bodies. Yes, I know you're always in your body, but you're not always aware of your body. So we're going to begin by becoming aware of where our body ends and begins by doing a little bit of wiggling, a little bouncing, maybe hopping, maybe wiggling around. And then we'll take our feet out towards the outer edges of our mat. Reach our arms out nice and wide to a T. Wiggle the fingers. Wiggle the toes. Wiggle the hip. Wiggle the neck side to side. And then we'll find some happy elephants. Lifting one heel and twisting in the opposite direction. Coming through center, lifting the opposite heel as we twist side to side. Moving as quickly or slowly as feels right. And as we wrap our arms around, we're going to let them gently come into tap the body, wrapping all the way around. As we start to move our lymphatic system some more. And we'll let the arms run out of momentum, coming to rest by our sides, walking the feet in towards center. With a nice big inhale, we'll reach the arms up to the ceiling, reaching tall. Exhale, sweep the arms out to our sides as we bow the chest forward. Inhale for a halfway lift, reaching forward with the top of the head, engaging through the core. Exhale, we'll hinge forward again, and we'll take a little bit of time here to play around in this pose, maybe pedaling the legs or grabbing for opposite elbows and finding more of a sway side to side. Moving back through center with an in-breath, we'll flatten the back, engage the core. Exhale to fold, reverse, swan dive the arms. We'll lift up to the ceiling. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time we'll airplane our arms back behind the body so we have long collarbones, reaching forward with the top of the head. Exhale to fold. Wrap the hands around the backs of the calves, drop chin to chest and forehead towards the knees. Inhale, halfway lift again, airplaning those arms. Exhale, bending through the knees. We'll sweep the fingertips across the floor as we lift them up, keeping the hips down for our chair pose. Now we can bring hands to heart center or keep them out in front of the body. We'll squeeze in on the legs without letting them collapse in together. Pressing down through the toes. And reaching tall with the top of the head. Inhale, we'll make our way back up to standing. Maybe adding a little bit of a back bend, maybe not. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We'll plant the hands down in front of the toes, putting more of a squat to the lower body. Planting those hands down nice and firm. We'll shift forward slightly, and we're going to hop to our plank. Beautiful. Moving to our plank pose, spreading the fingertips out nice and wide. We'll shift a little further forward. Elbows come into the rib cage. Exhale, chaturanga, hold. And soften the rest of the way down to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra, press down through the tops of the feet. Exhale, soften the chest a little closer towards the floor as we tuck the toes under. We'll send the hips up and back behind down dog. And pedal out. Now we'll slide the hands a little closer to the toes, adding more of a bend to the knees so we can really send our tailbones up and back behind, pressing the hands into the earth. We'll start to shift further forward so that our shoulders are over our wrists, bending the knees to hover them over the mat, coming onto the tippy toes. So we're finding a tabletop, but our knees are floating. We'll take the knees out further and drop them down to the floor. Scooch the big toes into touch. We'll slide the left hand underneath of the chest. With an in-breath, reach the right arm up. And with our exhale, we'll thread the needle. Reach that right hand all the way through our left side. Bring the shoulder inside of face down. Pressing our left hand into the ground to unthread the right, send the right up, and bring the right hand underneath of the chest. With our next in-breath, we'll send the left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle on this side, reach that left hand through the right side. We'll bring the shoulder inside of face down. And press into the right, unthread the left. Exhale, bring the left hand down. We'll walk the hands into the body so we can sit on the heels. Now sliding the legs in a little bit closer so we can sit up nice and tall. With an in-breath, we'll reach both arms up to the ceiling. With our exhale, we'll drop our left hand down and reach the right hand over to our left side. Inhale up through center. We'll switch sides, reach the left over to the right. And move back and forth at a pace that feels right to you. With another inhale, we'll come back up nice and straight. Walk or slide the hands out in front of the body, finding our tabletop pose. So shoulders are over wrists, hips are over the knees. We're pressing through the tops of the feet. And with our in-breath, we'll shine our chest forward. Lift the eyes and the tailbone up as we lower the stomach towards the floor. Exhale, curling into center, arching up through the mid-back. And we'll move back and forth with the breath. And back to our tabletop again. We'll walk the hands a little further out in front of the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Spread the fingertips out nice and wide. Press into the earth for our plank pose. Now we'll shift a little further forward. Exhale, chaturanga. To an up dog or a cobra. And to our down dog again. Wiggling out some more. And we'll add quite a bit of a bend to the knees and hop to the top of our mat. Lengthening out through the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, airplaning the arms. Exhale to fold. Inhale, we'll reach all the way up to the ceiling. Maybe adding a baby back bend, maybe not. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And we'll keep the hips down low as we lift the arms out in front of the body or bring them to heart-centered chair pose. Pressing down through the toes, up through the top of the head. Now we can keep the hands out in front of the body or we can bring them in closer. But we're going to drop straight down, bending through the knees, lifting the heels up off the mat, and moving to a toe stand. Wrapping the arms around the legs. And from here, we can either rock straight back onto the floor, or we can drop the hands behind us, drop down, and then rock forward and back a few times. We'll reach the legs up to the ceiling and wiggle them out. I'll reach the hands up to the ceiling and wiggle them out. And then we'll bend through the knees, taking the knees out past the rib cage, grabbing for our big toes or for the outsides of our feet as we move to a happy baby. Wiggling around, maybe rocking side to side, playing around with this pose and what feels right. Taking your time to be in this moment. Letting any thoughts but what you're doing with your arms, your legs, your body go. It'll be there later on when we can come to it, when we have the time to actually do something about it. But for now, we are here, and that is all we have. we'll start to let go of the legs and lower them down to the floor. Making our way to a comfortable place in the body. We'll allow a little more space between the shoulders and the ears. We'll wiggle our lower jaw side to side to release some tension in the jaw. Close the eyes. And envision the body melting into the floor. For the next little while, we'll see our exhales to be twice as long as our inhales. Fully letting go of our breath before we start a new breath in. And if your mind likes to wander, you can always bring it to a count. Exhaling for a count of 3 or 4. And then breathing in again for a count of 6 or 8. Letting go of the breath completely. Letting go of anything else that we do not need. Noticing if there's any areas that are still a little tight or tense or stressed. With our exhales, we'll focus on allowing those areas to be still, to be soft, and to be released. Now we can pause the video here if you are enjoying your time in your Savasana. Or we can start to invite some movement back into your body by wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes. When you are feeling ready, go ahead and roll to one side. We'll take our moment of gratitude here. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today, for taking this time out of your day to help your body move, to release some tension, tightness, and to allow yourself the peace and quiet that truly only you can give to yourself. Now give yourself a nice big mental or physical hug. Say thank you. And then we'll start to make our way to seated. Blinking the eyes open. And we'll sit up nice and tall. Bringing in a large breath through the nose. Let it go as a sigh. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you do something today that is just for the joy of it. Just for you. Something to make you smile or laugh. I hope you go in love, in light, in peace and joy.